Oh, hi. I didn't hear you come in. Welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast in which we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate The Last Jedi one sacred minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
And I'm Chris Radtke from Star Wars Fun Yuns.
It's a new product that we're trying out.
You can get pogs.
Do
in each
Funyuns
bag.
exist in the Star Wars universe? We'll find
What's that?
out. I was just if Funyuns existed in the Star Wars universe.
Somebody
But,
needs to do a YouTube show about stuff like that.
What exists in the Star Wars universe? Proof that Funyuns existed in Star Wars.
Well, that is a good topic for video, but today we're going to talk about minute 25 of The Last Jedi. Minute 25 starts off with Luke telling Rey that the Jedi Temple was built 1,000 years ago. 1,000 generations ago.
Generations.
And yes, and it ends a minute later with Luke asking Rey why she's here at the Jedi Temple, which was built over 1,000 generations.
Why are you here?
Right. Is that a Beastie Boys reference?
Thank you. Thank you.
JJ?
Dynamite. Yeah.
So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
here's the famous original Jedi texts.
The original Jedi texts. Those are the original. Have you ever walked in on some nerd's place and when like they have some like a shelf of like maybe like a large collection of Yodas or some like, little bric-a-brac and Muppets figures on a shelf in their bathroom and you want to see these things. And you ever walk in and when the person is like really delighted of the obscure thing they have, but you have no clue idea of what it is? That's Luke when he's like, those are the original Jedi texts. And like,
He just couldn't wait to have he has a little spotlight on him and everything.
totally.
Nice
He's got
setup
the
there.
light and everything. He's like, I'm just waiting for someone to come up to my haunted tree to see my collection of original Jedi texts.
That the people from whom we rented an apartment when we last lived in Brooklyn, friends of ours, family friend, and they had like everyone said, well, we'd go up there and hang out, and all around that kind of parlor level of the apartment there was a bunch of little kind of ceramic sculptures that just looked kind of like, to me, not my style.
Not for you.
Not for me. But then eventually we came to find out that that's a very specific type of thing. And the people who are into them are really into them. And this was one of the finest collections in the world of these things. People came to do stories about this collection while we lived there. Like people would come like from around the world.
Do you know what they're called?
I don't remember.
The Hummels?
No.
I was going to say, are they precious moments? Are they Hummels?
It was some
Smurfs?
weird kind of specific, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing because I know being on the other side of that, right. Here's things that matter, like exactly what you were just talking about. Here's all the things that matter a lot to me.
Mask texts.
Yeah. Here are all my credos.
That's a weird, almost like callback to what you were talking about earlier in the week, where you're around somebody who's powerful and famous, but you don't know who they are. So they're just
there
like,
you go.
You were standing in front of these Yadro figurines, having no idea that like other people would be killed to be in that position.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The original Jedi text.
Looking back at some of the concerts that I've been to and bands that opened for other bands, and then it's like, oh, people really like those bands now, and that kind of a thing. Where it's just like, oh yeah, really? Oh, I wish I had recall, but
changing subject. But what is
three.
What is the opening band that you saw? What is the first one that comes to mind? That's the most impressive opening band you saw before they were anything.
Well, there's the one that I was talking about recently was was in 91 or 92. I saw Fish and didn't care. And I know a lot of people who they've gotten that much bigger, since then. And there's a lot of people that have been like, oh man, like that, I would have.
You saw them in the 91 tour, man.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Elliott Smith, I saw open for Beck at one point, and I had no clue really who Elliot Smith was at that point, and now it's like, oh, all right, well, that's
You booed him, actually. I remember
Yeah.
you were saying.
it's like put on back. So the famous original Jedi texts.
Yes.
It's like famous Amos. Those
Yeah.
famous original Jedi texts.
Luke Skywalker's original
Oh,
famous
right.
Jedi text.
Don't be fooled.
Only if you know it's real if it's on Utani paper, Uneti
Right.
paper.
Here are. I was disappointed in the listing for the Jedi texts. Was this in Wikipedia? I'm assuming you have
Someone
the same
translated
information.
Arabesh.
I have
Well-
three different titles listed.
You have 3. I only had 2.
Yeah. Ooh,
I-
let's
I
see where
s-
we diverge.
Because this is in the book, in the novelization. This is where this came from. I
Ah.
said Luke is pointing out. He's these are the famous original Jedi texts. We got the Ionomica, Aionomica, Ionomica,
I have
and
I have
the-
that one also.
Ramagon,
Ramagon.
Ramagon,
Ramagon.
Ramahgon.
It's
My favorite Fleetwood Mac song.
Yeah,
Ramagahan.
Ramagon.
Ramagon.
And what's the third?
And then
Ramagon is written by Clee the Elder.
really,
It says.
in the book, he just says, here are the Jedi texts, the Ionomica, the Ramagon, and a dozen other mystical-sounding made-up names. And I was like, well, all right. Why give me 2 and then tell me the other ones are silly? Those are silly also. But what else did you get?
Ionomica, Rananagon, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Luke actually says that. That's Luke's line.
In the book.
Oh, so he's being dismissive of them.
Yes.
Got it. This is my
yeah,
collection of porcelain figures.
Right.
Eh.
Ramagon
Do
and
you-
Ionomica, whatever. Although-
the other one I had was one called The Chronicles of a Brusbu. Brusbu.
Bresbu.
And that one specifically dealt with how to fix, if you recall, in this movie, spoiler alert, later on, Anakin's old lightsaber gets broken in half, blown up when Rey and Kylo Ren are trying to tug a war over it. And so that book taught her how to rebuild Luke/Anakin's old lightsaber, which is why she has it in The Rise of Skywalker, despite its being destruction in this movie.
Now, is it just strictly repair, or is it building from scratch? Like, is that where Luke learned how to build his? Did he go
No.
go get the go? Hey,
If you
R2,
want to learn how to build our lightsaber, you got to read the Chronicles of Bozan.
yeah, go get the buzz
Cleric
boo.
of Palor.
We're gonna build a green one this time.
I'm guessing this was mentioned probably in some
Right.
maybe the Rise of Skywalker novelization or something, or somewhere else where they establish her fixing it. So I don't know if that was the one that.
Oh God, I can't wait till they release these books written by that guy that writes the Path of the Jedi and does all those. Oh my God, I can't wait to read the Ramagon.
Well, as a book nerd, it bothers me that the original Jedi texts are not in a uniform set, like that they're all like higgly piggly different sizes.
Oh, because they're. I think that actually it makes more sense that they're all over the place, because this is a collection of the original Jedi texts from different scholars from different generations. It's not like they were all written at once. It was, like the Chronicles of Bojan had to be something that he had to live that.
Right, but Luke's like the king of the Jedi now. He can't afford to have these redone in a nice leather slipcase edition.
But these are the original originals.
The original, yeah. You don't. No. Books come in all different
It's like
shapes
saying
and sizes.
oh, look, there's this, beautiful, illustrated manuscript of King James Bible. We're just going to toss it and we got it on the Kindle. We don't need that old book.
Or it's having like an instead of encyclopedias where you're like, well, these
we don't need
these
that
shouldn't
old
all be
book.
the same size.
The
These should all be
original
different.
Jedi encyclopedias. Let's see what's in K.
You should have said this is the
Kanji
original
Club.
Wikipedia.
Fisto, kit.
It's the print version of Wikipedia.
But it's not like these are all authored at the same time. Yeah, I think it's a collection of studies from other places and then added on to. So it's like when it first started, it wasn't just like, okay, we're writing a series of things. It's like,
is it the whole set? Is there like a canonized official, these are the Jedi, the original? Is this, who decided that these were the original? Like, was this something with the Jedi Temple? Jocasta knew. She filed them under original Jedi.
Original Jedi texts.
Man, she would love. I mean,
there must have been millions of.
Oh my God, Jocasta knew would weep at the amongst the boughs of this tree. She would just be like, oh, "Books, I love books."
But she might be upset. Like, why are you keeping them in this cold, wet tree? Like,
or she can just actually maybe she has just a real disdain for books.
I was going to say, because she's a modern Jedi, she's like, oh, you should have them all computerized. They should all be the same size, and they should be a matching set. That's what she would say about that.
Well, I think it reflects I think the Jedi religion, which they refer to it as here, even is not created whole cloth. It's taken from other ideas and things that were around. So it's like. It's like books from different understandings and kind of, okay, with all these texts, I've created the Jedi temple.
What I think is
this is now, I'm making this new gang and we're called Jedi. And we're going to use all these books to determine who we are.
Right. He actually just wrote them himself. That's like, he came up with
these are the original Jedi texts. Right. What you don't know is I wrote them. They're originals. They're Luke Skywalker originals.
And you see a lot of stuff in there about how great Luke Skywalker is. I'm so embarrassed by it, but what can you do? The prophecy.
Like when he was ready to go, he's like, R2, don't tell anyone where I'm going, but I'm going to go and write I have an idea for a book, and I'm going to go by myself, and I'm going to sit on an island. And that's where he did. He left, and he wrote the original Jedi texts, and there they are. He's like, I'm not going to use a computer. I'm going to use an old space quill and Ishi Tib ink. And
I got a nice nib from Ishi Tib.
Exactly.
Wait, I thought I would think Squidhead would be the guy you get ink.
Oh my goodness! Imagine.
Right. Yes. You get the nib from Ishi Tib, and you get the ink from Squidhead. Squidhead.
He's like,
how much you need
on the finest Zunetti paper.
Yeah. You're milking a Squidhead like so many fallacy sirens.
He's literally walking up like, "Hey, Squidhead, don't call me that."
That's really insensitive, actually, to call people.
Well, they have to sneak up and scare him, so he inks.
Oh,
he throws his voice. He does the old crate dragon trick, but he's across the room. He's like as a calamari. He's like
he does the sound of an OPC killer. That's what scares Squid.
Thanks. Just what I needed with my Ishi nib.
Well, speaking of space quills, when Ray said she's from nowhere, I did think for a second it would be neat if she was from a giant celestial's head.
Speaking of space quills, wow, that was
right.
That is why this is an exceptional podcast, everybody. Holy Toledo!
I've forgotten the name of the celestial whose head nowhere exists in
Ramaran.
Ramagan.
The Elder.
Oh my God.
So we do get a little joke here from Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
He said,
I'm from Jakku.
Yeah,
it's probably about right.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, he said
Jakku's worse.
The boy from Tatooine is dissing on Jakku as being from nowhere.
That's like the North Shore of Long Island dissing the South Shore of Long Island.
I mean, there's a reason.
I'm saying Tatooine is the North Shore, Pete. You're
right,
from
I
Jakku.
know. I'm just saying it's more reasonable than.
Oh yeah, Jakku sucks.
What space exit are you from?
Yeah, it is a funny. I think we needed that I don't know, again, because that goes with the theme of like anytime things seem to take themselves too seriously and too self-important, we need a little deflator mouse.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, with the saga on a grand scale, and just, even in scene by scene, like this is too, like we're talking about the sacred Jedi text, and things get too a little bit too like not hokey, but a little bit too like, okay,
High fantasy.
this is like a big thing now. Let's deflate it a little bit by making a joke about Jakku.
Right. We brought it in books. Everyone just bring it down.
Right.
I am somewhat disappointed, Chris, that you will not be here when Mark Hamill says Darth Sidious, because I know that's always it. That's it.
It is,
looking
when
forward to.
Pete and I were talking about what minutes where I randomly would slot into. I was saying that I was like, really to me the Thalos Siren Sow milking scene is the number 2 scene behind it. But I was very delighted when Luke Skywalker says, Palpatine, and he it's really terrific. Closing out the week, guys, thanks for having me on. But I mean, I really want to stress how much I love this movie. Now that there's some distance with this movie coming out, because originally, I'm like, it is for me. For me, the original trilogy is will always be my favorite. But this is
the sacred text.
They're the sacred texts, and this is the best of the movies. I mean, Mandalorian shames all of it, but this was. I think this movie is something else, and I love Luke Skywalker's story in this and how it ends and the whole path, and it's like his performance is just impeccable, and it really is. It is, even though he himself. I think Mark Hamill's come out and being like, I don't quite get it. That's Mark Hamill, grousing that he is, the actor that he is, right? Mark Hamill, he wants to be something bigger in his mind's eye. So he's kind of like, kind of dogging it. But this is Mark Hamill's like greatest performance as far as I'm concerned. This movie. So that is that's my take on this. I love this movie. I think Canto Bight, it drags a little bit, but it's still terrific. You got a Borg gullet in there. And this is the best Disney era film that they made.
All right, bold words.
Bold. Fight me, all of you.
I thought
I think
you were like that
fish.
Swam by saying.
I feel like people are going to like hearing this new positive Chris Radtke when you're famous for your catchphrase, of course.
It is garbage.
Trash.
Yeah.
But,
it is garbage.
Nice
it is that.
Yeah.
No, the new catchphrase. I used to think that is garbage.
This ain't garbage.
This isn't garbage. This is really good stuff. It's the original Jedi texts. Yeah. I love Star Wars, man. The best.
Yeah. Star Wars, man.
Well, Pete, you got any last thoughts on minute 25? 25 minutes in already.
I do like that the question changes from who are you to why are you here in this minute.
Why are you here?
It is why are you here? It's not just why are you here. It's like, well, yeah, it's
why
again,
are you here?
Why are you here? Yeah, why is it you?
Yeah.
Why did they send you? And that ties into why are you here, but it's a more specific, like we're honing in on this relationship that's about to
Yoda says, why are you here, right?
I am wondering, why are you here?
Yeah.
But he doesn't that's not why are you here.
Yeah, I know.
Why are you here?
Maybe it is. We know Yoda's syntax is funny.
That's true.
But,
yeah.
Well, all right then. I guess that'll wrap up minute 25. Unless you guys have anything else that you want to get off your chests. R.E. The Last Jedi.
Ramagan.
Ramagan.
All right. Well, Chris, thank you so much for returning for another season. And
thanks for having me, fellas. It's been a real treat.
Bummed we can't do it in person, but next year in Jerusalem.
See See you then.
So people should go check you out at StarWarsCity.fun.
Star Wars City Facts. Follow me on Twitter. That's the place where I live. Radtke327.
Radtke327. We are at Star Wars Minute. I am at ARobTwit. Pete, what's yours again?
Pete the Retailer.
At Pete the Retailer.
Street the
Very easy.
Retailer. Moving on in.
That's why they call him the Street. And we'll be back on Monday with another brand new
Easy one.
Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars
Wars
Minute.
Minute.